show. This is my first one ever. I have to put my gloves on because it's really cold. It's around 0 degrees. Let me hold it in this hand here. I hope you can see me all right. I don't expect this live show is gonna be long. If you have any questions, just please don't hesitate and ask me anything. I'll be happy to answer. I do believe that the comments will pop up on the screen. But I don't mind just talking for like 15 minutes and ending it here. Sorry for my voice. I have a little bit of a sore throat problem, but it's getting better. I'm already doing sports as well. So the reason for this live show is very obvious. I woke up even in the middle of the night when I took my phone to the hand. I saw that the Bitcoin was over 100,000. And that is a really, in my opinion, a game changer because I think there is nothing in the way for crypto to make 4 trillion this month. And I also gave you this condition, the way I see this, that this is indeed because we did break new all-time high for the crypto, for the total crypto market cap. We did break 3 trillion in November. Oh, hello, Rogue. Welcome. So we did break the all-time high in November, and now I believe we are on our way this month in December to go to 4 trillion or around, probably even a little bit over. And I think this is the cycle peak in the making. So now with these prices, and I think it's just going parabolic, and I think that it might even accelerate. So this is really like historic days. Did break of 100,000 about Bitcoin and the market as a whole. No, not really, not really. It's just that the condition is fulfilled. The condition of roughly 4 trillion this month. I know we are not 4 trillion right now. We are like 3.5 or around. But I think that that's the target actually for this month. So I am out of Bitcoin. And I have already started actually swapping for altcoins, but I also kept some in cash. And I plan to redistribute it again at the correction that I also think will come, because even during these parabolums and during these late bull markets, there is always some correction. But I think that only like 20 to 30%. So I'm not sure I answered your question, but yeah, it didn't change my view on. There is a goat here behind me. It's just holy, I didn't know about that. So yeah, it didn't change my. Oh, thank you, thank you, Rogue. Of course, I had also bad calls like everybody, but mostly this cycle, I'm actually pretty proud on myself because I played it mostly well. I played it more well than not well. And also here on YouTube, also the videos that I bring to you. Yeah, I started this series in November 2022, Crypto Screaming Buy. So that itself aged very, very well, obviously. And some also some of the videos. So yeah, thank you for yeah, also the quarterly presentation that I did the last one in Q3. I know it's pretty long to watch, but there is also some conclusion, so you can also just skip to the conclusion. And yeah, I'm gonna do it again this month, definitely, probably near the end of December. And there, some of the analysis that I've done also aged pretty well. So yeah, I hope to keep improving myself, and yeah. And also, I thought, yes, the self-reflection is very important because it makes you grow. Without self-reflection, and I fully expect that right now, after 100,000 Bitcoin, the self-reflection is going to disappear briefly on social media, because I fully expect that the bears will really now go into hiding. And I fully expect that we are going to see some really excessive calls, like million or close to million Bitcoin. I fully expect these kind of calls, and it's gonna be now excessive egos around everywhere. So the self-reflection, I think, is gonna disappear, and it's gonna we're gonna need a bear market to have a, you know, to again, yeah, to put it back into the neutral, into rationality. I expect people to become irrational now very quickly, and of course, my intention is to work on myself so it doesn't happen to me, and that I make full use of this late bull market, and also potentially cycle peak. And I will make a video about it, of course, and probably even a live show. I would like to make a live show. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. That's the plan, to update you regularly. Yeah, the next big update will be definitely the quarterly. I will bring lots of data there. I will be looking at the sentiment, like always. I will be looking at the app, like Coinbase app, but also the Moonshot app. That's the meme coin application. I will be looking at their popularity. I will be looking at the on-chain data, of course, MVRV, Pi cycle top, stuff like that. Of course, the log regression. Log regression is a necessity to look at. Then seasonalities, but also I keep track on other influencers, and I also keep track on what they think and what they do. And some of them, I think they are good reverse indicators. And some of them, I think, are doing also very good job and are very on point. So yeah, all of that together will be in the quarterly update, big update I'm going to do at the end of this month. And then the next live show I will probably want to do when I think the cycle will peak. So I'm really looking forward to sit here. Yeah, the question when that might be, I was trying to answer that question in the last video. Yes, a live show would be very helpful. Your videos are awesome, but they're too short. You're the only one who thinks that. When you look at the numbers, people think that 5 minutes is too long. Like, people are excessively fast. Like, they don't have time for anything, right? Nobody has time for anything, right? In this internet age. So even watching a video of 5+ minutes for many people is basically today is a problem. So, but I'm really glad to see this opinion. Yeah, I wish. And thank you for saying that they are very helpful. I do want to continue working on myself and improving myself and the quality also that I provide. Of course, it's all tricky. I can never know if I'm right or wrong this time. I can just bring you what I believe in, and then in time we see how it aged. Some things inevitably have to age poorly, but if most of the calls age well, then it's a job well done overall. And yeah. And yeah, speaking of the job well done, this is also the time, days like these are the very best times during the cycle. These are the very best times. And you know, as they say that in the good times, you have to think about the bad times. So this is the time to um, maybe not think about the bad times that could be. Maybe not the times to think about um, how stuff can blow in the world. I think this is a good time to be reminded what journey we all have to undertake to get where we are today. Today we did break 100,000 Bitcoin, and we are on our way to go around 4 trillion. And there, in my opinion, it's very likely that we have to see some kind of a correction, because even the late bull markets, even they have corrections. But these corrections, of course, are pretty short-lived, but they're a good opportunity to also redistribute your cash, etc. So I think that it's very good times now to be reminded what journey we have to go through, what all we have to go through, what trials, what pits we have to avoid during this cycle. It was not that far to the past. It was just 2 freaking years. 2 freaking years. That's not a long time. Just 2 years ago, just go back in your mind right now to recall. I recall the FTX crash very clearly. It was not fun for any one of us, and more and less so for people who've been exposed to FTX. And yeah, like everybody turned bearish there. It was insane, and for a good reason, because technically we should not have stopped at 15,000. So technically it was for a good reason actually. And that was just 2 years ago. Then remember last year. Remember 2023. Remember September, October. Like, I don't know any influencer who was bullish. Let me know if you do. Yeah. Maybe I was not paying attention to Sonny Mulder that much, but I guess he was bullish there. But other than that, especially the bigger influencers, no, all bearish a year ago. And a year ago, Bitcoin was 27,000, 28,000. Year ago, year and something. So, wow, it was quite a journey. And yeah, lots of pits, and we made it here. And it's good to be reminded this, because it's also, it's good to know that there will be pit like this again. And there will be times like this again. And it's also good to know that times like these are for looking for an exit, and looking for the best moment to lock in. And of course, yes, another question that you might be having now is that, so how high do I think this cycle will go? I don't think I've ever talked about this in my videos. I did talk about whether I think this is the cycle peak, or this is the process of making the cycle peak. And now with almost 4 trillion and we will probably reach 4 trillion in December. I think that yes, this is a cycle peak in the making. So the question that you might be having, how high do I think this cycle will go? I've read, because I follow Sonny Mulder, as you know, on Twitter, and I've read his thread a few days ago, where he pointed 5 to 6 trillion cycle peak, and his intention, his plan to lock in there. And I thought that this figure is actually reasonable. 5 to 6 trillion is reasonable, but to predict precise cycle peak, that I'm afraid nobody can really do. I will be watching for lots of stuff, for what the other influencers will be doing, sentiment, what it will be doing, on-chain data. I will be watching lots of stuff, and I will be, of course, making up my mind based on all of these combined together. And what I can only do, I'm afraid I cannot tell you today where do I think the cycle peak is going to exactly be. But I can tell you that I will try to make a live show whenever that is going to be. So yeah, probably sitting on this beautiful place again. Hopefully it's not gonna be so cold. Holy, like I'm really getting cold. Guys, I think we're gonna have to be walking to warm myself up a bit. And I try to dress myself good. Yeah, okay, let's go and let's walk, guys. I just can't sit anymore. Whew, there is nobody around anyway. So yeah, a little bit walking with my phone in front of my screen. I hope you can hear me all right. I also hope the signal is well, because I'm kind of on a remote area. I hope the signal is well. Okay, I don't think any new questions. I think this is still the same questions. We are 16 minutes in. I will probably talk for about 10 more minutes, and then I will probably close this because I've already gave you the points that I wanted. So yeah, but about the cycle peak, I think that the Sony's estimate 5 to 6 trillion, I think it's reasonable to follow. But important is to focus on being able to lock in during those good times, because you do not want to wait until the gig will be up and until the race for the exit will start. You do not want to wait for this. You do not want to wait for this because it's getting faster. The cycles are getting faster. Not maybe, no, this is maybe wrong comment. Maybe not faster, but the timing is not as people or as as we maybe would have thought. Like there is not really a pattern, not really a pattern of timing. Also, the fourth cycle theory might be proven wrong as well. Like we have broken all-time high only. Wait a second. Actually, we've broken all-time high of Bitcoin much faster than the previous cycles because we broke it this spring. Yeah, and maybe also that's why also the total cycle peak is gonna be faster. So yeah, I'm just saying that the timing is probably not going to be working again, ever. So like always like 4-year cycles, no, I don't think so. No. So it's even more important to just use good times like this, and also then to use bad times. But if you want to use the bad times, you need to have a cash, and you are not going to have a cash if you don't use the good times. Okay, I have a question. Thanks for the live stream. Oh, hello, Netik, because I was just too cold sitting. The signal, I think, is getting worse when I go here, so I have to go the other way because it was dropping, and you're gonna lose the stream. Let's see if any of my friends arrive. I let them know, but of course I didn't give them notice. I just gave them like 30 minutes notice, so they might not come because they might not be online. Like Curtis is in Japan, so Japan right now. Actually, Japan has evening, so Curtis might see it. So yeah, it would be great if Curtis can come. Okay, so Netic XD says that he started selling 10% every month now, and I think this could be a good strategy. So yeah, definitely well done to be able to be selling anything, because like mostly what happens that people are not able to sell anything or very little at all during the good times like this. So yeah, congratulations. I think that whatever cash that you are going to free today, I think that you will be able to use it later. And especially, yeah, the altcoins, they are less predictable. So I can't say, it's very hard to say like how high Ethereum is gonna go in the cycle peak, or certain altcoins. The smaller the altcoins, then the less predictable they are. And also it's of course hard to say how low they will drop in the bear market. But with Bitcoin, I am reasonably confident. That in the bear market, which will inevitably come again, Bitcoin is gonna be below 100,000 and quite below. So we are talking like 60,000 maybe, or around. So like if you sell Bitcoin now for 100,000, and if you are able to buy with 40% discount, I would say that's a freaking very good job done. So yeah. So Netic says that he got the pain from 2017 bubble crash and he learned his lesson. So now he's selling when it goes up, and of course not too much. Since no stop, so he sells 10% every month. Yes, but it's good that you bring up the 2017. Didn't you want to say 2021, by the way? You said that 2017 bubble crash, because 2017 was basically 2 cycles ago, and the last cycle was 2021. And it was the last cycle that got everybody really and caught everybody with pants down. Oh, 2017 was worse for him. Okay, sorry to hear that. Yes, it's like so you've been in crypto for many cycles now. So you see all of these lessons that you have gotten, you are now using it. So even though it was very bad for your wealth, and financially it was very painful for you in the past, it enriched you experience-wise, and it made you way wiser and more prepared for what's coming. So you see that there is always the other side of the coin. The painful lessons are the best, like most effective ones. And yeah, but he says, what is your thought about crypto being speculation and not investing? People are buying it to sell to a greater fool and unable to see it as a good investment, and I just speculate. I'm going to answer this question, but I see Curtis coming, so is happening. So hello, Curtis. Gresham's law arrived. I'm not sure if you've heard me mention you, Curtis, but I was saying 5 minutes ago that you might actually come. I was saying it literally here. So hello. Yeah, shoot any question, Curtis. I have maybe 15 more minutes. I really have to go to get the lunch. So I will end it. But I want to answer the question from Netic. So if I think crypto being speculation and not investing. Ooh, interesting question. So, as you know, I am quite into meme coins because I think that's a phenomenon that's going to stay with us because it's also degenerate. And I think that as we go further and further, I expect crypto to be getting more and more degenerate. And with meme coins, and basically with any small altcoins, like yeah, like it does remind me like a giant casino. And maybe only now when this pro-crypto government has won in the US and will be inaugurated in January, only now I see fundamental projects being rewarded by the price surge. Only now though. Throughout the cycle, not really. Nobody really cared about the fundament. I mean, yes, people cared about the fundamentals, but the price was not showing for it. So, but this is also good, healthy, that I see fundamental projects going up a lot and also rewarded. So most of the cycle, I felt like a giant casino. I won't lie. So I felt like crypto was just pure speculation and casino and not investing. However, at the very moment, I think it's more of an investing because you can see really the projects that have been just price was just dropping the cycle long, but fundamentally they've been good, and now they are completely exploding, hundreds of percents in only a few weeks, multiples and multiples. So yeah, I guess that there is a little bit of both. There is both in crypto. There is partially it's just speculation, but I think partially is also investing. So Gresham says too tempting. Okay, yeah, I guess too tempting, but you have to explain the context. Um, um, yeah, so guys, we are celebrating 100,000 Bitcoin on this stream. We have about 15 more minutes, a little bit less now. Okay, Netix is asking another question, but is crypto doing anything in the real world to affect our lives other than financial gain? Everyone just holding BTC, not spending it. The same for most crypto. Well, there I will have an argument saying that it does. It does anything. It does something in the real world, absolutely. And like, you know, the BRICS nations, for instance, but also some other nations, there is lots of financial control. You can't move capital over borders, for instance, and especially not larger amounts. So these people just use stable coins, and that this is used en masse, you know. And I know the stable coins, almost all of them are centralized, but there is also some decentralized ones, and maybe like DAI. Although DAI, I think, rebranded I didn't like it at all, but I think they've rebranded, and Maker, I think, also rebranded. I think there is a Sky, I call something like that. So I think crypto definitely does something. Stable coins at the very least, very needed. Also the privacy coins, holy, like privacy coins are very important to fight the huge surveillance on whatever we do with our wealth. The privacy coins try to counter it. Of course, yeah, there is a war between the centralized authorities and the privacy coins. Of course, they're banned in certain countries. So yeah, crypto definitely does something, in my opinion. Also, the smart contract platforms, of course, they do something because you have dApps that are not running on a centralized servers. So, in my opinion, it does. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Curtis says that it's too tempting to join the chat. Yeah, Curtis. So welcome. You've joined the chat. I'm glad to see you. Enjoy the nature. I'm walking because I was sitting, but I was too cold. And I was saying that the next live show, Curtis, that the next live show I do want to do whenever I think will be the top of the cycle. So because I think it's going to arrive reasonably soon. I actually think it's not gonna be a year. I think it's gonna be way faster. I think it's gonna actually be in Q1 2025. And yet again, if that comes true, then yet again the cycle will peak in less than a year after Bitcoin broke all-time high. So the next live show is going to be very even more interesting than this one. So Curtis says, people hold a currency that is more valuable and spend the currencies that are weakening. This is called Gresham's Law. Yes, Gresham's Law, that's your nickname as well. So there's a lot of deep meaning in what you do on the internet. Netix XD says, yeah, but the value comes from holding, which is usually not enough. A real currency is supposed to have more than one use case. Then it's just greater fool's theory, where everyone buys BTC to sell it to someone else for hire. Yes, the well, obviously the value of cryptos is speculational, obviously, and so that cuts both ways. So that's why we have these huge bubbly cycle peaks, and then we have also then very crashy bear markets and cycle bottoms, and that's where we come in. Like yes, there is. It's very hard, if possible at all, to determine how much should this stuff be really worth. And it fluctuates. Whatever the opinion is, it fluctuates greatly on whatever is happening on the world. So yeah, like I'm not sure. I followed up on your comments, but feel free to add if I've missed something of importance. Curtis says 125,000 to 150,000 by the end of the year. 150,000, that would be really a stretch, Curtis. I've been saying as well at the start of this live show that, and I've been not only now, but also the last month, when we broke the all-time high in Bitcoin, I was making a video that I see 4 trillion as a maximal possible, or around 4 trillion as a maximal possible in December. Maximal possible value. And so I think there is also going to have to be some kind of a healthy correction of 20 to 30%. So I'm not sure 150,000 by the end of this year is possible. I guess it's possible, but I don't think it's likely. But the low bracket that you said, 125,000, that is actually very interesting, because that is, I think, a Fibonacci extension at the top of my head, because, you know, I check Fibonacci's a lot, and 125,000, that's around a Fib. So that would be probably, now we've broken 100,000, this could actually happen. BTC will next enter the bond market and become collateralized. Already happening, says Gresham's Law. And it's hard to argue against that. Yeah, like I don't have any information about it, but I myself was thinking about it, that this could be in the future a big step as well. So I don't disagree at all. And moreover, whatever the US does, Europe kind of then follows. So now when the US is talking about some kind of a reserve fund, crypto reserve fund, and perhaps we're going to be talking about collateralized bonds, then how long before Europe? So, yeah. Netix says, it's just me having a hard time thinking I'm investing and not gambling past 2 cycles. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Like the most of this cycle, I felt the same. I felt the same. But right now, yeah, as I also said a few minutes ago, right now the fundamental projects really really get capital inflow. So also any fundamental research we have been doing into teams, into the tech of the projects, that now it seems to be worth something, at least, at last. But for the most of the cycle, I totally felt like gambling as well, most of the cycle. This will coincide with the major rise in stocks, says Curtis. Yes, major rise in stocks. Well, also, I would like to also remind you, however, that this year we are, for the S&P 500, we are in to close like 6,000 plus, okay? And rewind back to the start of the year and listen to the biggest bull I know, Tom Lee. At the start of this year, he was rationally estimating 5,300. So I think it's stretched for the moment. I think it's stretched, and this was a little too extreme, I think. And I think profit takings coupled with certain, also there have been some indicators piling up. So I do think that the stocks are also due for a correction next year. That's a long story short. Harvey, oh hey Harvey, good to see you, Harvey. I was hoping that Coinman would also arrive. Yeah, the next time I will try to give you more notice ahead. Again, reminding you, for those of you who are new on this live show, that I'm gonna have to be ending very soon. I have to go and pick up the lunch at 11. In my time zone, I have 43 minutes past 10 in the morning. I have to be somewhere at 11. And I just want to remind you that the next live show that I plan on doing is whenever I think the cycle will be topping. So there's gonna be even more interesting the next live show. So very interesting time. Who could have predicted this, Harvey? Yeah, I remember Harvey and Curtis used to have certain interaction in the comments in the past. Also good times. Yeah, by the way, Curtis, I was saying at the start of this live show that during these good times, it's good to be reminded the bad times. And if you remember our little podcasts we've been doing all 2022, those were some bad times to sure. Like we've been doing them throughout some bad times. So I think it's good to really think during these good times. It's good to think what all we had to go through to get where we are. It's good to be reminded because it's good not to forget that again, pit stops like this will come again. And yeah. So, okay, guys, like maybe last 2 minutes, just some closing speech, perhaps, and I guess, and then I have to go. So it was a pleasure. Thank you for coming, for all of you. Thank you for all the questions. Curtis has always been a permabull. Okay, I want to see how he will react to this. I don't think he will agree. Okay, anyway. So thank you for coming. This deserves this celebration. This live show is really deserved today. It's been a tremendous cycle, short one, and also keep that in mind, because the timing is an illusion. It's not gonna be working the cycles timing-wise, not as we had thought. So I also keep that in mind into the future as well. So just 2 years ago, everybody was like this in crypto. Everybody was like this, shaky. And look at us today. So I was happy to celebrate this with all of you, and looking forward to the next live show, and also, of course, for the rest of this year. I think we are heading for 4 trillion in this month. Also, as Curtis said, it might be around 120,000 Bitcoin or around. And then I do believe we should see some kind of a correction, but it should be only very healthy, normal correction to 20 to 30%. But starting the next year, January, remember that the January, that's where we always, or not see, but seasonality-wise, it's January when we see the biggest move of Ethereum versus Bitcoin. It's January, it's not December. So I do believe that also for the altcoin-wise, there is shockingly actually even better times to come in January. So yeah, stay safe. Thank you for coming again.